Turning Texas blue. Is it a quixotic quest or a soon-to-be reality? In recent years, Democrats have claimed, hoped, dreamed they could win the state, giving their Senate majority some breathing room, and with its 38 electoral college votes, making the presidential map very challenging for Republicans. Think about it. With 3 states, California, New York, and Texas, any Democrat running for the White House would be almost halfway to a win. And Democrats have already gotten close to winning in Texas. Remember back in 2018, Beto O'Rourke lost his race challenging Ted Cruz for a Senate seat by just 2.6%. In 2020, Joe Biden lost Texas to Donald Trump by 5.6 percentage points, but that only came out to being 631,221 votes. May sound like a big number, but remember, there are over 30 million people in Texas, which is probably why Texas Republicans have been focusing their voter suppression efforts on Harris County. That's the state's Democratic stronghold, which includes the city of Houston. With 5 million people in Harris County, only 2 American counties have bigger populations, Los Angeles County, California, and Cook County, Illinois, which you might already know includes the city of Chicago. And with the recent impeachment of Texas Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton, these comments that he made back in 2021 got new scrutiny this week.
We lost Harris County. Trump won by 620,000 votes in Texas. Harris County mail-in ballots that they wanted to send out were 2.5 million. Those were all illegal, and we were able to stop every one of them. Had we not done that, we would have been one of those battleground states that they were counting votes in Harris County for 3 days, and Donald Trump would have lost the election.
By the way, suppressing turnout in Harris County by limiting mail-in ballot applications was not actually what got Ken Paxton impeached and suspended for office. That was a whole web of weird corruption that's worth a few minutes on Google if you haven't been following that story. But also by now, you've probably heard about the bills passed by Texas Republicans targeting elections in, wouldn't you know it, Harris County. From the Texas Tribune, quote, Texas Republicans have muscled through legislation allowing unprecedented state interventions into elections in Harris County, the most populous county in Texas, threatening to drastically overhaul elections in the Democratic stronghold, end quote. Governor Greg Abbott is expected to sign these bills. Republicans in Texas say they are responding to election issues in Harris County. Texas Democrats call that BS. Joining us now is Jane Hope Hamilton, a veteran of government and public policy. She was the Texas statewide director and senior advisor to President Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. Jane, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us. I've been talking about this to a bunch of people in Texas, and we're still trying to get to the bottom of what is the reason why the Texas legislature, what is the reason that they offer to people in Harris County, in Houston and around Harris County, about why they are taking over things that the county should be administering itself?
Right. Well, you know, what they offer, we can really bypass that. I'm just going to get straight to it to be very clear. The demographic shifts are very concerning, right, to Republicans in leadership here. We are seeing that when we look at places and counties, right, like Harris County, which is the largest and has the fastest growing population, it's a majority minority county, which Houston is inside of Harris County. We look at 2016, guess what? Hillary Clinton won Harris County in 2016. We look at 2020, when I was the statewide director for the now President Biden, he won Harris County in 2020. What it is an attack on our urban centers. Our urban centers are majority minority. We see it right here in Dallas, Fort Worth area, in the North Texas area. We're seeing it in Harris County and in Tarrant County. And make no mistake about it, for Republicans, people like Ted Cruz, that's the battlefield. And as Democrats, we continue to fight and we continue to make progress in these very, very important counties.
But as we've learned, these kinds of things, when they happen at the state level, a well-run presidential campaign can't, in some cases, overcome this stuff. So how does one overcome this in Texas, where we've seen legislators in Texas try to fight back against the things that they do, whether it's abortion bans or other things? The numbers aren't close on the state side in terms of the makeup of the legislature.
Listen, this is not new to Texans. I want to be clear with that, right? while we're talking about this topic today and the attack again on our democracy, we've been fighting this in Texas for decades. The first thing we saw, you may remember, Ali, is the voter ID, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And
yes.
we took it to court. That's right. We took it to court as Democrats. And guess what the court said? The court said, wait a minute, this is unconstitutional. And Republicans lost that. So they came back. And what did we see happen next? We saw that the Voting Rights Act was overturned.
Right.
And with that, that made it harder for states like we're in Texas to just, be able to actually fight in the way that we were used to in terms of taking it to court. But we're going to take them to court again. And we're going to continue on this because this is a fact. You cannot beat back the numbers. What is happening, what we are seeing is that Republicans in this state, they are fighting the clock. But guess what? This state continuously brings in more and more people of color, brings in more people who are fair-minded people. And one thing that we will not accept is we will not accept a fight, an attack on our voting rights. We will fight back. We will continue to fight back. There is one thing that I always tell people: voting is the great equalizer. When you have a have and a have not go into a ballot box, those people are the same. They have the same amount of power in that ballot box. And so we will continue to fight this.